Okay, so clause 6 of the standard, planning. You know, there's an old saying, nobody, plans to fail, but we all have at some point failed to plan and made an absolute mess of something. I know I can certainly put my hand up in that particular category. So this standard addresses and talks about the steps that you take to address actions, to address risks and opportunities. Okay, so it will expect, or the auditor will expect, that you have a risk register in place. It will expect that you, as part of your monthly or quarterly meetings, however often you have them, that you will have addressed what we refer to in auditor terms as opportunities for improvement, or OFIs, as we also refer to them. So opportunities for improvement in auditing terms are not a non-conformance. It's just something that we may have identified, said, oh, you know something, but maybe in your meeting room, somebody may have said, hey, look, it's a little bit dark in here. Maybe it would be a good idea if we could have some additional lighting. You may then look at some quality objectives, and you might sort of have noticed that some of your products aren't necessarily meeting the required, or may not be meeting the standard that you would like them to. So again, it's a question of, well, all right, we've identified this now. It's gone onto the continuous improvement register, because usually what will happen is that risks and incidents are captured on the separate incident and risk register and are then transferred onto the continuous improvement register. And then it's up to you to identify, well, okay, what actions are we going to take? Who is going to be responsible? And then look at, okay, these are the strategies that we're going to put in place. And then you might close them out. But the important thing then is to say, well, have we gone back and reviewed the effectiveness of those strategies? There is no point in saying, well, okay, here was a incident that occurred. It went on our continuous improvement register. We developed some strategies and we just left it. As an auditor, I would be saying to you, well, okay, you're 80% of the way there, because you're not then going back and reviewing and seeing how effective those steps were. Okay, so the planning is very important. So what I always say to people is your registers, whatever they might be, especially around risks, opportunities. The other thing to think about here is what happens about complaints. What do you do about, about addressing those? And then more importantly, we're talking about negative stuff at the moment. We're talking about risks, incidents, complaints. What about positive feedback? What do you do with that? Does that positive feedback also need to go into the continuous improvement register? Of course it does, because it might actually give you an idea of something that can be done to improve the way you operate. So I think that planning section is just as important.